All right, so thank you for joining us for the MicroAge Talks Technology webinar series. Today's webinar will focus on some of IT challenges that are being experienced and how they can be addressed. My name is Maria Fiore. I am the Director of Business Development here at MicroAge, and I'm joined today by Anthony Guillem, our marketing ninja and our subject matter expert for today's presentation. Just before we begin, I just wanted to mention that you can ask your questions throughout the webinar by typing them into the questions panel of the webinar tool. And I also wanted to mention that we are recording this presentation, and the recording will be sent to you a little bit later today. So I'm just going to spend a minute giving you a quick overview of MicroAge and who we are. So we have over 30 locations across Canada, and we are the largest network of IT experts in the country. We have been delivering services and solutions to our clients since 1981. Our team is definitely passionate about technology, but what really motivates us is helping our clients attain the business objectives they set for themselves. We work with you to identify your challenges and opportunities so that we can provide the best services and solutions that will meet your needs. And we do this with the support of our experienced and dedicated professionals. Our goal today is to share with you our experience and what we have learned in dealing with some of the IT challenges our clients have encountered over the last few years. And with that, I will turn it over to Anthony.
Thank you, Maria. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Like Maria said, the topic of today's webinar is top IT challenges your business should and actually absolutely have to address in 2018. So let me just give you a quick overview of the agenda for today. We'll start by going through the top IT challenges you need to address. What are your options as a business to tackle those challenges? What to look for in an IT service provider? Few next steps that we're proposing for you guys, and the questions afterwards. The presentation itself should run about 35 minutes, which would leave us plenty of time to run through your questions. If you have any, please don't hesitate, and you can always use the tool that should be on the right-hand side of your screen to ask them, and we will go through them with Maria at the end of the presentation. So let's get it going. So IT and your business. IT is, information technology is actually one of the #1 investments that a business has to make right now. There's so many tools out there that a company can leverage to give itself a competitive edge on the market. IT needs to be, well, it's becoming more and more predominant, right? It's not something that is an option anymore. It's something that every company needs to implement the right way to leverage it as much as possible. Start off with the first challenge that we see on the market: productivity and uptime. So in a world where every second counts, productivity and uptime should be top of mind. Because your users needs to be productive. We're trying to do as much as possible with less and less resources, and so time-consuming technologies become a lot of a headache. So what we see on the market is a lot of reactive approach. We see companies being completely out of control of their technology, living in a break-fix reality constantly. There is a huge lack of tools and resources, which obviously doesn't help with the approach and the management, or the proper management of IT, shall I say. Little to no planning and a lot of downtime, because being reactive to problems, you can only tackle them when they arrive, right? So what does that mean for a business now, right? Well, downtime costs a lot. If your employees can't work properly, if your infrastructure doesn't hold together, if you have stuff that is actually holding you back, you're not leveraging the technology that's at your disposal, and this becomes a threat rather than being a source of leverage and a potential opportunity for your business. So as a business, what you should do is adopt a proactive approach to IT management, and we'll go through the different options and the other different subsequent problems or challenges that are coming with the lack of proper IT management. Being proactive means that you're ahead of the curve, right? You're looking forward or you're looking correctly after your different tools, whether it's your infrastructure, your laptops, your workstations, your softwares, whatever it is that you use as a business to serve your clients better, needs to be looked at proactively. You should think of technology as a set of tools, right? It's really what it is, and it has the power to impact in the right way every single aspect of the business. The big if is that if it is done right. And you need to ensure high uptime for your business. If you have a lot of downtime, you're losing money. Your employees might not be able to work together. You will create customer dissatisfaction, which ultimately will shoot your business in the foot. So productivity, number one. Security, a big subject of discussion, especially in the last, I'd say, 12 to 18 months. An interesting stat was given to us a few weeks ago by a security partner that we have. Around 80% of all businesses are under attack without even knowing it. When we say that, we mean, so 8 out of 10 business have some sort of attack, whether it's a small malware, viruses, it could go up to ransomwares, complete data theft, etc., etc. It's 8 out of 10 business. It's a lot. So what we see once again on the market, a lot of inadequate solutions. We're seeing companies that are not investing properly in either security appliances or softwares or proper management of whatever it is they're implementing within their environment. We're also seeing a ton of unprotected devices. Internet of Things is both a beautiful thing and can become a bit of a threat at the same time. We have all these devices that are not connected to a network, right? Whether there are mobile phones or tablets, they could be laptops, they could actually be physical IP phones, and even printers and multifunction printers, right? Everything now is an IP address. Everything is a potential link or potential security breach since it's linked to the network. So it's really important to protect these devices the right way. The lack of user awareness is probably one of the biggest threat to businesses. We see a lot of users and employees have no idea what's a phishing email, what's a fraud, what to look for. We hear all kinds of stories in the news and different medias about all sorts of data theft that could have been stopped if users knew what to look for. We see a lot of unmanaged, or should I say improper backups. We have companies saying, yeah, we have backups in place. Our secretary has been backing up our data on tape for X amount of time. But these backups are not monitored, they're not tested, they're not managed at all. So when it's time to use those data that are backed up, if they're unusable, then you basically lost a lot of time and a lot of money. And the famous sentence, we've never had any problems before. Isn't that a beautiful thing? We never had anything happen to us before. Let's not do anything because it's not going to happen. Fortunately, that's a big no-no. Not having a problem before doesn't mean you're protected for the future. And so things really need to be looked at differently now. So what does it mean for a company, right? We see all of these things happen on the market. And so there's a lot of compromised company and customer data. It could be, financial information. It could be different specialty or special ways of doing things in the business. It could be patents. It can be all kinds of data that has a true value to a company, and it means a ton of security breach potential, which ultimately will put your company at risk. So we're in 2018. Companies really need to take IT security seriously. They really need to invest properly with security, whether it's remote access control or as things as simple as having the proper antivirus and anti-spam solutions. There's all kinds of security layers out there, and every company needs to put the right stack of security solutions in place to make sure that the data is not compromised. A big thing also is to reinforce user awareness. It's one of the solutions that MicroAge has in place for our customers. Users are, like, every company needs to build a human firewall. And what we mean by that is that users really need to be aware of what's out there. What are the risks? What are the potential problems for a company if data is being compromised? Can we lose a competitive edge? Are we going to be stuck with a ransom to pay in exchange to get our data back? I mean, pretty sure 100% of the people that are online right now, I've seen some type of data theft in the past and can't understand the true potential that it has for a business, or should I say the threat. And companies really need to value and understand the value about security now. Hackers and cyber threats are definitely not going away. It's a reality that we're going to have to deal with, and as more and more things are interconnected, data can be sold on the dark web. There is a lot of ransoms going out there, a lot of malwares, a lot of data theft. We've seen tons and tons of examples. If you've been with us in the past few webinars that we gave, we spoke about some very rough examples of data theft. So investing properly, understanding the value of protecting your organization. Think about it. If you had a nice, if you have a house and stuff that you care about in your house, you probably have some kind of a security measure in place, right? So you want to have the right security stuff in place for your company to protect your data. Another big challenge that we see on the market is mobility and remote access. As remote workers and mobility options become more and more common within the marketplace, stats have proven that remote work and mobility options will drive employee satisfaction and productivity. The thing is, it needs to be done right. And so what we see on the market is a big lack of mobility management. Companies are not sure if they should allow employees to work remotely. If they do, what does that mean? Do they need to provide, workstations, laptops, cell phones? If so, is there any kind of secured access that they need to put together? Obviously there is. We've seen all kinds of unsecured network access, no monitoring whatsoever of devices that are used by different employees, freelancers. Different passwords are going left and right. It can become a really big threat real quickly for businesses. And so what does it mean? Well, like I said, the network can get compromised more easily if you don't secure it properly. And ultimately, I mean, it's not that every company should allow every single one of their employees to work remotely, but if we're speaking, we're in Canada, right? Snow happens, and maybe you could fight those big snowstorms in an easier fashion by letting your employees work remotely. They don't need to go. They might not need to take their car or get to the office, and they can get the job done remotely, right? So you need to look at the options if it's worth doing so. Maybe you are doing it for your business, maybe you're not, maybe you never will, but ultimately you want to think about how remote mobility access can help or empower your business. So what you should do is definitely consider adopting those different solutions, whether they're monitoring of your devices or giving more access remotely to your users. If you have any kind of remote access, which you probably have, you want to make sure these access are secured. You want to make sure that your network you're not adding like an extra layer of risks to your network and to your business. And obviously, every mobile device should be secured, monitored, and you should know what is going on. Another big thing is internal resources management. There is a big shortage of IT staff in Canada, and your staff is one of your biggest assets, right? So you want to make sure their time is invested in and used strategically. What we see on the market is, on one side, a lack of IT staff. It might be because of business size, it might be because of budget, it might be because of a lot of different reasons. And when we see IT staff, well, most of them are busy putting out fires. There's problems arriving left and right. They're being reactive about what happens. And that brings high costs, right? Because you might need external firms to help you out on specific things. You will probably have costs that you didn't budget for, and ultimately you're shooting yourself in the foot. And so IT becomes a costly pain when it should actually become or be leverage for the business. And your IT staff, if you have any, is unfocused on business objectives because they have to make sure everything runs properly. They have to constantly be supporting either infrastructure or tools going down or users having problems, which definitely doesn't help the business at all. What you should do is really find the right balance. Are you looking to outsource all of your IT management? Is it the right move for your company to do? Or if you have IT staff internally, are you looking to maybe outsource part of their needs or part of their the services that they require, so they can focus on different things? You should leverage external IT firms to reach for your business objectives, to understand where you're going, what's your reality, what is your budget, how can you work in the best manner within your budget. Which leads to leveraging IT to fuel your business growth. It's a big challenge. We see company understanding that IT is big, that they need to invest, but they're not sure how different investments are going to bring them to the next level as a business, right? So technology is a useful servant, but it's a dangerous master. You want to control it, you want to master it. You want to master it, you want to be a slave to it, so it can really fuel your business growth. Once again, what we see on the market is a lot of businesses missing all kinds of opportunities due to poor IT or technology investments. A good example that I like to talk about that just happened recently, if you think about Toys R Us. Toys R Us just filed for bankruptcy a few months back, and really they're the kings of child toys, right? So, and one of the reasons they couldn't keep up with the market is that they didn't want to invest properly a few years back on different e-commerce platforms, right? They were being held back. They didn't know if that was linked to their value proposition as a company, and ultimately that got back to them pretty harshly. We see all kinds of unadapted technologies. People or companies think that things are working. Let's keep it as that. Let's not invest until it breaks. And ultimately, that technology that is going to break or that will not answer your future needs will end up slowing you down. A big lack of knowledge and education, which is completely normal. I mean, IT is becoming more and more complex. It's evolving at an incredibly rapidly pace, and it's hard for companies to keep up with it and to know exactly where to go. And costs relate to ongoing training, especially for IT, is almost unaffordable for a lot of SMBs in the marketplace. So what does that mean? Well, technology is a tool, right? It should be used to fuel your growth. It should not be like an unknown mystery blocking and holding your business back. We're in a world where if you don't leverage the right technologies, One, your employees will not be able to work as well as they could. Your business processes might get hurt. Your clients are demanding specific time frame answers, specific services. They want to consume. They want to consume their needs, if I may say it like that, within their reality. And if you're not able to adapt as a business to their reality, ultimately, you might end up losing those clients, which can hurt. So as a business, what we should do is learn and be open about new technologies and the opportunities that they can bring to the business. On the flip side, you should also know the different threats that it can mean. I mean, more technology might mean more management. It might mean more risk, but if it's done right, it'll be a leverage that your business can use. And you should leverage external IT firm once again so that they can help you. They can make you understand, well, here's where the market is going. Here's why XYZ technology or solution might give your business an edge. And that's really how you want to tackle this problem and see it long term, so you can do the right investment within the right time frame to really give your business an edge. A big thing, so I just spoke about investing. Now, how do you control all those investments and all those costs, right? What we see in the market is a big lack of IT budget. Companies know that they need to invest. They're not sure how, they're not sure how much, they're not sure which technology. And a lot of times they just don't have a budget for it, or an unrealistic budget, because what they want as an end result requires a bigger investment than what they value. Which ultimately, when you need to get that gap back, might lead to high, unpredictable, and unjustified IT costs that you could have planned for, budgeted, and implemented the right way at the right time. When you do it afterwards, you might ending up just spending more, losing revenue, losing time. Ultimately, it's not a good value proposition. What does it mean is IT should be planned like any other aspect of a business. But IT is a different beast. IT is now present in each and every department. As a company, for example, we're leveraging this GoToWebinar tool. That's something that's useful for marketing. Your finance people might be able to work in a smarter way with a specific software. Your sales team might be able to be more productive if you help them with better technology and empower them to work when they want, where they want, and serve your customers better. So it really needs to be taken in consideration in all aspects of the business. And not investing enough or too much might have bad repercussions on your business. If you don't invest enough, obviously you're probably putting yourself at risk. Now, if you invest too much and you don't leverage those technologies as much as you could, then you're not winning on the long term either. So you want to find the right balance. You want your planning and your vision to be on the same page and really go towards the same end goal, which is making the company more successful. So what should you do? You should leverage, once again, external IT firms to budget wisely. That's one of the things that we do a lot with our clients. We're able to do a plan on months, years, that's specific to their business needs and how they want to move forward as a business. And you want to understand and give the technology the credit and the value it's due. We see a lot of business on the market that have worked in a specific way for years, and it worked fine, and that's completely fine. Now they could invest and understand the value of these technology investment and be a lot more productive, or a lot, it could be a really smart move for them to do such an investment. So you really want to understand the long-term play. Like I said earlier before, IT is not something that's only cool anymore. It's there. I mean, everybody in every business needs to leverage it. which means, so how do you plan IT strategically? There's a saying that I love that says, failing to plan is planning to fail. If you don't plan, things are probably not going to go your way. So once again, we see a big lack of IT planning. Businesses are reacting to business needs or IT needs instead of seeing them in advance and being ready for them when the time's right. And there's a big gap between the strategic planning that we see and the actual opportunities that could be opened by different technologies in the market. I talked about Toys R Us. That's a great example. If they invested the money a few years back, well, maybe they wouldn't have filed for bankruptcy now. That's true for a lot of retail businesses. It's also true for legal businesses, for every business actually. Technology can open a lot of doors, but if you don't plan in advance, you'll be late to the party, and competitors will take that extra edge from you. And ultimately, if you're missing out on those strategic and those wise IT investments, you'll be shooting your business in the foot. So as a business, you should really see what's ahead, what's in the midterm, what's on the long term, and even what's on the short term. What do you need to put your business out there? Do you need to invest in, I'll take Toys R Us example again. Do you need to invest in e-commerce opportunities? Should you invest in a better customer relationship management software to serve your clients better? Do you have the right solutions to support your service staff, for example? You need to really see how IT can impact the different aspects of your business, and by leveraging external IT firms, we'll be able to know what's out there, what are the advantages, what are the costs, where is that going to bring us, and do the investments that are right for your business. So with all those investments, all those solutions, everything that's out there, what does that mean? It means more complexity a lot of the time. It means a lot of things to manage. So how do companies gain peace of mind towards their technology? Well, it shouldn't feel like a burden. It's something that is integrated in all our lives now, and it needs to be handled properly. Technology, what we see on the market is technology that's completely out of control. We see companies that bought XYZ appliance and this and that solution, but they're not leveraging a tiny bit of it. Everything's out of control. They don't know what's going on. They might not even have an inventory, which brings a very reactive and very stressful reality about IT, because you're buying all sorts of solutions. You're not sure in what kind of vision you did that for. You just were told you needed that. You went for it. Now, how do you manage these, right? You have a problem going there. You have another problem going at the same time on another piece of appliance, for example. It becomes really stressful and really hard for companies to have the peace of mind towards IT. And ultimately, that brings management with a lack of confidence towards either the solutions that they implemented or the staff that's maintaining them. What does it mean? Well, it means technology should work for you. You should not be a servant to it. You should really understand it, make sure it answers the vision of your business, and you should have it work for you so your business can leverage it. And you should be in full control of the technology that you're exploiting, that's being deployed in your businesses, because ultimately it'll get back to you. So what we should do is invest in solutions, invest in different services or staff that will give you complete confidence and peace of mind towards what you're deploying. We do that with a lot of customers by maintaining the right solutions for them, so that they don't need to think about it and they can work on what they do best, which is selling to their customers, servicing their customers. And so ultimately, you want to have complete peace of mind so it doesn't become a burden, but really a source of leverage for your business. That being said, how do you do all that? Well, here are a few options. We categorized your options in three, I'd say, columns or three categories. So there's either internal IT staff, on-demand IT services, or managed IT services. Internal IT staff as, like all of them, pros and cons. You have total control of your staff. They're 100% committed to your business. They work locally. But internal IT staff can be expensive. Their expertise in maintaining their certain level of expertise can become very expensive very quickly. And as your business grows, you need to make sure your staff is able to follow, right? Which brings on-demand IT services. You get knowledge and expertise when you require it, for whatever reason you need it, and for specific tasks, which leads to no upfront cost, but on the flip side becomes another reactive approach. You only use those on-demand services when you need them, and you need them when things break, unfortunately, which brings to high and unpredictable costs, and that which can bring to downtime. Where managed services come into play, or co-managed IT services, it can become the best of both worlds, right? You can have a complete IT department working for your business in a proactive manner, monitoring and updating and making sure your technologies are working properly. You're looking at predictable costs and predictable service level agreements, so SLA. You have proper reporting. You know exactly what's going on, what was done, what manner. And yeah, so with that comes challenges, right? So for a company, you need to find the right partner to trust to outsource some of all of your IT services. So what to look for in a technology partner now? Well, you want to demand more than a supplier. You want to demand three things ultimately. You want to look at the company, you want to look at the processes, and really a business partner and not only a supplier. For a company, you want to look, how long have they been in business for? What is their history? What kind of customers are they servicing? Are they a cultural fit with your organization? Are they going to bring you to that next step? Will they provide the strongest ROI for your business? If you're buying from a supplier that's giving you only the best price, but you're not leveraging those technologies, well, it might be worth taking a shot at looking at someone different that really will bring the strongest ROI for your business. You want to look at their processes. Are they documenting what they're doing with you or with other businesses? How are they communicating with their customers? What are their work methodologies? How will these processes that they have in place will give your business an edge? And when we say partner, we really mean a partner. It should be a business that, well, your business should benefit from their expertise. It should not be really just a supplier. And their focus should really be on you, on your business. Your needs should go before them. It should not follow a specific technology or specific brand because you're tied to it. Your business needs need to be on top of every business discussion. So the key takeaways for today: IT is a tool. It should empower your business. Make sure it is the case. Make sure you're not being held back by technologies that you're not able to support. Plan and invest strategically. Understand that the right technologies can empower your users. It can empower your business. See it. Understand the long-term value of it. Plan and invest properly in it. Ultimately, it becomes a source of satisfaction for your employees and future employees. It's going to become a source of satisfaction for your customers, and it is a huge opportunity for all businesses to leverage the latest technologies and making sure you're ahead of the curve. Understand your options. Make sure you have the right technology partners around you. Make sure you have the right resources to help you succeed. And leverage your technology to give your business an edge. Like I said, it's not something that's only cool anymore or only out there for a small percentage of businesses or people out there. It's something that you need to tackle on head first. The MicroAge way. So it's all good. We're showing you all these challenges and how to tackle them. But if we may preach for us, here's how we can help as a business. One of the tagline of MicroAge is your trusted business technology partner for a reason. We offer consulting services from strategic planning to security and IT auditing. Um, we're able to put together the right technology, the right design, the right implementation need to really fit your business needs. We, over the years, partnered with the biggest and best vendors in different areas so we can really tailor the solutions that we propose our clients with their business needs. We will not put a brand before a customer if it doesn't fit their needs. And that's really our motto. We don't want to be tied up in one space. We want to give as much options and as much possibilities for our clients as possible. We work in partnership with our clients. Our managed IT services put at your disposal a complete team of specialized staff that will look over your IT, that will make sure everything is running smoothly so you can focus on running your business and not putting down fires that are related to technology. We also provide all sorts of training, and we insist on transferring the knowledge so you're not tied up with technologies that we implemented for you, but you understand their value, you understand your investment, and you're able to leverage it as much as possible. So that's about it. The next steps that we have for you today are: one, assess your current situation. Are you completely in control of your IT right now? Could you leverage external expertise so your business runs smoothly or runs better? Are you in control of your costs? Are your budget matching? Are you investing too much or not enough? Do you know where you're going with your IT investments? Discover the possibilities out there. There are tons of solutions for every problem now. There's all kinds of software that you can leverage, all kinds of solutions to secure your network, all kinds of solutions and services that can make your life easier, that can make your business run better, and ultimately that you should at least discover and discuss to really give your business an edge. And we gave that webinar, but have a chat with other organizations that have the same route or the same reality as you. Speak with your colleagues, your friends, your professional acquaintances to know what's out there. Are things being done? Could you improve your service delivery by leveraging a specific piece of software, for example? Or could, like I said earlier, could your sales rep, for example, could they service your customers better if they had more mobile possibilities? These are things that we see everywhere on the market. It doesn't mean it's reality that appeals to anyone, but there's a lot of companies that are definitely not leveraging the different pieces of technology as much as they should. And understand if there's an opportunity for your business to leverage managed IT services. What we mean by that is through services that will service an SMB just as well as a large enterprise. If it's done right, it'll give your business an edge. It'll provide you with peace of mind, and your company can benefit in a big, big way from it. Thank you for attending today. As you probably saw in the invite, there's a free ebook for you all. So the top clues that managed IT services are right for you. You can assess the ebook, I believe, Maria, correct me if I'm wrong, by accessing this web link, which will also be, I think, sent as a follow-up email after that webinar.
You're absolutely right, Anthony. Yeah, so if you missed the link, we will be sending it out later on with the recording so that you can click on that and get your free ebook.
Right, so do you have any questions?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks, Anthony. That was an excellent presentation. And we do have a couple of questions in the queue. So let me start with a question from Michael. He says, we're a small company, we're under 20 seats. What you've been talking about today, is that applicable to a small SMB?
Yeah, Michael, you're not the only one to ask yourself that question. Yes, the services, for example, if I speak about managed IT services, they will give the same level of high quality services whether you're 2,000 employees or 20 something employees, like you said. So ultimately, you're actually benefiting from a high level of service for costs that are adjusted to your business size. So it's really the best of both worlds for a small business.
Yeah, and let's keep in mind that the IT challenges that are faced by a 200 seat company is the same as or very similar to smaller companies. So it's just these kinds of services and these kinds of I guess things that need to be thought about are scalable, right? That it doesn't matter your size.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, we have another question. This one came from Dan, and he's actually asking for a little bit more information on the employee training that you talked about earlier. So, Dan, just we'll have somebody reach out to you to make sure that we answer your question. But Anthony, did you want to sort of expand a little bit on that?
Sure. So what we do to reinforce employees' awareness is we have training programs in place that are a bit like simulated attacks. And so it enables an organization to kind of test their users and with the different actions that they're taking with these attacks. For example, if we were to simulate a ransomware email, if an employee clicks on that, you'll get full written and or video training about what to look for. Maybe that email address wasn't right and you should have seen it. Maybe you're a financial controller and your bank is ABC, but you received this email from XYZ bank, right? So it's the little things that'll bring your employees to the next level, and ultimately it'll build like we said, a human firewall for your business. So that extra layer of protection.
Great, thanks, Anthony. And like I said, Dan, we'll have somebody reach out to you to kind of explain it a little bit further and maybe answer more questions if you have any. I don't see any more questions in the queue. So Anthony, thanks again for the presentation. That was great. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And again, we encourage you to take advantage of the free ebook that we are providing to you today. So let me just check the queue one more time. Okay. So with that, I want to wish everybody a great day. And thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, Maria. Thanks, everyone.